certainly was Raven's day, wasn't it?
With everything Judge Lewis heard, I can't see that he can make any other decision but award Raven custody.
Look, do you want a drink?
Draper, if Logan does lose the custody trial, do you think he'd really leave Monticello?
I doubt it. Even if he loses the custody battle, he's still going to get visitation rights.
Thank you. Yeah, I think Logan would want to stay as close to Jamie as possible so he could spend every free minute with him.
And all his friends are here. Just out of curiosity, if he did leave, would you be very upset?
What kind of a question is that?
I saw the reaction on your face when he made the announcement.
Yeah, I'd be upset, wouldn't you?
Sure. I don't want him to leave either.
He is your best friend.
And yours too?
Yeah. He's someone we both care about very, very much. Excuse me, Molly, is there something that you wanted?
Yes, I don't really want to interrupt.
Molly,
but,
what is it?
Mr. Scott, a call came in a minute before you arrived from the hospital. It was one of the doctors treating Emily. He wanted to know when you were coming back to see her again.
I was going to go by one day next week.
Oh, dear, he was hoping it would be tonight. Could you, Mr. Scott, please?
Like some kind of an emergency.
Well, I don't know if you could exactly call it that, but her condition has changed, and maybe for the worse. She's come out of her catatonic state, and she's becoming agitated. That's the word he used.
Agitated. That doesn't sound very good.
No, wait a minute. That could be very positive. It could mean that, well, she's beginning to feel again, coming back into reality.
I don't know exactly what it does mean in terms of the future, but for the moment, the doctor is very concerned about her. She keeps asking to see Mr. Scott. I'm sorry, but you haven't seen her in such a long time, Mr. Scott.
Excuse me, Molly. Is Emily asking to see Draper or Kirk?
Oh, well, I'm not sure. Did the doctor... Well, it really doesn't matter, does it? Do you think you could go and see her, Mr. Scott?
Look, Molly, I'd like to help, but
I knew you'd feel that way.
But I can't do it tonight. Maybe I'll get over there tomorrow.
But the doctor said the sooner the better.
Molly, you know I'm expecting an overseas call from my father. It's very important. I promised him I'd wait for it. You know he just lost his wife.
Yeah, oh, yes, I do know that.
Look, the best I can do is try to get over there after the phone call, but I think that visiting hours...
Excuse me, I have a suggestion. What if I go and see Emily? I could go right now.
Well, Mrs. Scott, it's very nice of you, but she is asking for Mr. Scott particularly.
Well, I think that perhaps she's looking for a friend to talk to, someone she trusts. I think she feels that way about me.
Well, I don't know. Don't you think we should respect her wishes?
I think I'd like to go and see her. I would certainly like to try and see if I could help.
All right. I'm sure it would do some good. Thank you, Mrs. Scott. It's very nice of you to volunteer. I'll just get the elevator.
Hello, sweetheart.
Hello.
You sure you can handle this?
Oh, yeah, I think I'm capable of setting a table. Let's see, the fork goes on the left.
I still say should have sent out for some pizza.
Defrosting hamburger and making patties is not exactly slaving over a hot stove.
How do you feel?
Fine. I'm going to feel a lot better when you stop bugging me. Do me a favor. Go read a medical journal or something, will you?
The only case I'm interested in right now is yours.
Miles, would you stop hovering over me? You're making me feel like an invalid, and I'm not.
Of course you're not.
I just want to do what I can while I can. But I promise you, I'm not going to be stupid about this.
Always knew you had brains as well as beauty.
Miles, what exactly can I expect to happen to me now?
Well, you've been diagnosed as having mild aplasia, which means you'll be having a little bit of weakness, a little bit of fatigue.
Am I supposed to just sit around and hope that this will just go away by itself?
That's probably exactly what's going to do, yeah.
What about starting me on antigens?
You've been plowing through my books again, haven't you?
I will learn everything I can about what's happening to me.
Look, if Dr. Stewart thought that kind of treatment was warranted, he would have prescribed it.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to tell Dr. Stewart how to treat me,
All
but
right.
I do have a vested interest in
Listen,
the outcome of
only
this
thing
case.
you have to be worried about right now is the fact that your weakened condition is going to make it easier for you to catch colds, any sort of infection. If you do get any bug, it's going to be harder to shake it, and it might lead to some complication.
I'll button up my overcoat.
So you got to be careful. If you detect any bleeding, like a nosebleed, anything like that, you call Dr. Stewart right away. All right?
Hey, where's everybody?
Oh, we're down here. Don't say anything to Jody, okay? I don't want her to know.
Oh, now this domestic scene's a sight for sore eyes. It's nice to see things getting back to normal around here.
I agree.
You having dinner with us? We set a place for you.
Oh, I'd love to join you, but duty calls.
Oh, pity the poor working girl.
And unless the bus is waiting for me at the corner, I have an excellent chance of being late.
Well, I'll just put a snack in the refrigerator for you in case you're hungry when you get home, okay?
Thanks, Nicole. Now I feel guilty.
What about?
Well, I should have taken the night off.
Why?
Because it's your first night home from the hospital, and I should be here to help you.
You have a responsibility to the unicorn, and if I need any help at all, I'll just utilize Miles.
I'm the only MD I know with dishpan hands.
Well, don't you worry about that. Just pile the dishes in the sink, and I'll do them.
Oh, thank you, but I don't think it's going to be necessary.
Well, on my next night off, you can really be the lady of leisure. Because yours truly is going to do the cooking. Just don't expect anything too fancy.
Well, fantastic. Thank you very much. But don't worry about me, okay?
How can I not worry about you? You're my sister, and I love you. Besides, it comes with the territory. I'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, I sure hope you're hungry. Hamburgers a la Nicole are going to be ready very soon.
I am starving.
Would you mind lending me your skilled hands? I can't seem to get this open.
Sure. There you go.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Send me the bill. You know the address. What is happening to me?
Ah, at long last.
Sorry I'm late.
Come over here, young lady.
I had trouble connecting with my bus, and when I finally did, the traffic was terrible.
You know, I've been waiting for you.
Oh, it won't happen again, I promise.
You look very nice tonight, Jody.
Well, thanks. I'll see you later.
Don't
okay?
go. Not yet.
Why? Is there something you want?
Have a drink.
Thanks, but I'll pass.
It's on the house.
That's very nice of you. I have to get into my uniform.
Yeah, aren't you the conscientious one? Look, if the boss tells you it's okay to relax for a few minutes, then hey, it's okay to relax for a few minutes.
I'd rather not.
It's not very prudent to disobey the boss. The boss doesn't wish to drink alone.
All right, just one drink.
Good girl. What will it be?
How about a ginger ale?
Ginger ale. Ginger ale. What would you like in your ginger ale? Some scotch?
No, just some ice. I don't drink.
Well, maybe you should make an exception for a special occasion.
I only put healthful things in my body, Mr. Dorn. I have to keep in top physical condition.
Yeah. For your dancing, no doubt. Okay.
Besides, all liquor tastes like medicine to me.
Well, it's an acquired taste, I suppose. But one well worth acquiring.
Guess that's up to the individual.
Mark my words, you'll change your mind when you get older and wiser. But with your tender years, one can't very well expect you to know how difficult life can be sometimes.
I have a pretty good idea.
But with this magic elixir, things become a little bit more palatable. The bad becomes less bad, and the good becomes even better.
You say so.
And when you've had a few of these, everything looks pink and rosy and lovely. Especially pretty young women.
I really should go and get ready for work now, Mr. Dorn.
I've told you there's no rush. I've also told you to call me Elliot.
If I sit here and talk to you, Kim is going to get stuck doing all the tables, and that doesn't seem fair.
But we said life was fair. Don't worry about Kim. You just sit here and concentrate on enjoying yourself.
Maybe we ought to make this some other time.
I get the distinct impression, Mrs. Travis, that you don't want to make it any time.
Well, to be honest, I feel kind of awkward about all of this.
Oh, is it because of our employer-employee relationship?
Yeah. I guess that's it.
Well, that's the problem. That's easy to fix up. We'll hop into a cab, ride over to another club where nobody knows our identities. What do you say to that, Jody? All I want is a chance to get to know you better.
That's very flattering.
There's this sweetness and innocence about you that I find very appealing.
I bet you say that to all the girls.
Oh, come on, what do you think? I was some sort of a Casanova?
No, I think you're a very handsome man. And you must have at least a dozen women on the string right now.
Oh, I never kiss and tell.
Take that dark-haired woman, for instance, the one that always comes to see you. She's really pretty, don't you think so?
She's a classic beauty, no doubt about that.
Never in a million years could I compete with anybody like her. Why, I'd just wind up being the ugly duckling in your harem.
So cute. Yeah, won't have to worry about that.
I don't know. It's pretty stiff competition.
You don't have to worry about any kind of competition, Jody. You're a beautiful girl. And you're going to become a beautiful woman.
Mr. Dorn, please don't do this. Please.
Kim, how you doing?
Kelly! Hi!
Oh. Stop by in my office before you leave today.
Happened again, didn't it?
What happened again?
That Lech made another pass at you.
No, that didn't happen at all.
I told him to stay away from you.
Kelly, would you stop worrying about me so much?
Looks like Dorn isn't going to learn until somebody teaches him a lesson.
Kelly, I can handle it. All by myself.
Yeah, well, girls think that they can. Till they meet a creep that won't take no for an answer.
I appreciate your concern, Kelly, but it isn't necessary.
Look, just be careful around Mr. Playboy. Will you do that for me?
Sure, I always am.
If he tries to hurt you, if he as much as hints that he might, I want to know about it.
Kelly, would you stop worrying about it?
Jody, it hurts me to see you get hassled like this.
It's nice to know there's a few gentlemen left in this world.
I really care about you, Jody.
You know, that's the first time you've said so.
No, that's not true.
It is, too. The first time I heard it, it came from a puppet.
Emily? Hi.
What are you doing here?
Well, I heard you were feeling better, and I thought I'd come to visit.
Well, I don't want to see you. I want to see Kirk. Go away.
Well, can't we talk a little?
No. Go home and tell Kirk to come here. I want to speak to Kirk.
Emily, Draper was going to come and see you this evening, but he has to wait for an important phone call, so I'm afraid he won't be here.
Well, we have some important things to talk about, too.
Fine, you can tell me, and I can tell Draper.
It is none of your business. We have to talk about plans. We have to start making plans for the future. For our future.
Emily, there is no Kirk.
You would like me to believe that, wouldn't you?
No.
But I know different.
No, listen to me. There's only Draper. And Draper is my husband. He's not yours. I know you know that.
What I know is that you want to keep Kirk for yourself. That's why you're telling me all these lies about him.
No, listen, that couldn't be further from the
No,
truth.
you are keeping Kirk from seeing me. You think if he doesn't see me, he'll forget about me and he'll stay with you. Well, you are wrong. No matter how hard you try to keep him away from me, it won't work. Because Kirk loves me, and he'll be here. You just wait and see.
Why, thank you, Oscar, and good evening to you. I see. Hold on while I tell him.
Who's that?
You have a visitor, Mr. Scott. Deborah Saxon from the police department.
Oh, right. Have her sent right up.
Yes, have her come right up, Oscar. Thank you.
Molly, why don't you go in the kitchen and make us some coffee?
Of course.
Hi, Deborah. Oh. Come on in. You know, you just missed April. She went to the hospital to talk to Emily.
Oh, well, that's okay. I came here to see you anyway. Yeah. Well, actually, I wanted to talk to your father. He hasn't called you yet.
No, not yet. I'm expecting him any minute. Sit down, please.
Thank you.
Now, what's all this about? Something to do with Nadine's accident?
Well, yes. There are certain unanswered questions regarding the accident.
Oh, come on. You don't think there's anything deliberate? You can't think that she committed suicide.
Don't you think it's a possibility?
No, of course not. No, I know I'm positive. Nadine was a very strong woman. She didn't get any real bad news after her stay in the hospital, and what she had was definitely curable.
Mm-hmm. Well, to tell you the truth, I don't think it was deliberate either.
Then what do you think? Must be my father. Hello. Yes, operator. Put the call through. I always liked Nadine. She was very kind to me. You have our sympathies.
You can imagine my shock when I heard. I was inconsolable for days, but I'm beginning to come out of it now.
I was hoping that I might get a chance to see you, if you came over here to accompany the ashes back to England.
Well, my first reaction was to drop everything and catch the first plane stateside. But Raven informed me that she was taking care of all the unpleasant arrangements.
That she did.
And that left little purpose in my making the trip. And since I was in the middle of some very important litigation, it seemed I could do more here, taking care of business and consoling Nadine's many friends.
Well, that makes sense. I know this is a bad time for this, but would you have a few minutes to talk to a friend of mine? It's a police officer.
Police?
Yes. Deborah Saxon. You do remember her?
Oh, yes.
Well, she's doing an investigation about Nadine's accident.
Mm. Very well, I'll talk with her.
Thanks.
Mr. Scott.
Yes.
Very sorry to have to speak to you under these conditions, but
Sure.
I'll try to be brief.
I'm rather perplexed, Deborah. Since when does the local constabulary go around investigating accidents?
Well, we look into all traffic accidents that result in fatalities.
Well, that makes sense, I suppose.
Mr. Scott, we have yet to pinpoint the cause of your wife's death.
Now, apparently there wasn't any mechanical malfunction, and whatever thought we had as to a physical ailment being the cause of your wife's loss of control of the car was made impossible to validate by your stepdaughter's insistence on having the body cremated.
Sorry to make your job more difficult, but Raven and I were simply carrying out Nadine's wishes. A speedy cremation was what she wanted. It was mentioned in her will.
Then you have read your wife's will?
Yes, it was read by her solicitor just the other day. To my chagrin.
Why do you say that?
My darling wife left me a porcelain vase, which I'd admired for years, and the family photo album. Rather meager bequests, don't you think?
Is it true that Raven is to receive nothing? She told me that herself.
Well, yes. Her name wasn't mentioned once, as a matter of fact.
Well, your wife was an exceptionally wealthy woman.
She had more than enough to stuff every mattress in merry old England.
Well, assuming that you can't take it with you, what did happen to all those millions?